Tonight, we shine a light on a stunning confirmation of what many in Washington quietly suspected all along and what America lived through for 4 long years. That under the Biden regime, the so-called commander-in-chief was nothing more than a placeholder, a brand, a husk, and the real power not in the Oval Office, but behind the curtains. And according to some insiders, it was with Jill Biden's chief of staff, Anthony Bernal. In undercover footage released by Project Veritas, David Hogg, the professional activist turned DNC vice chair, spilled the kind of truths you're only supposed to share when the cameras are off and the Chardonnay is flowing. According to Hogg, Anthony Bernal didn't just help manage the First Lady's office, he ran the entire White House.
Yes,
nice to meet you, yeah.
Off the record, of course.
Foundational question for me is how corrupt is the DNC if so many people knew, or few people knew about Biden, well, the president of the United States?
I mean, I think the fact of the matter is the DNC is always going to be a campaign arm of the president, ultimately. The bigger issue was the inner circle that was around Biden. That's it.
And I can't stress to you enough.
Jill Biden's chief of staff, had an enormous amount of power.
Jill Biden?
Jill Biden's chief of staff.
That was an open secret at the level. I would avoid him. He was scary.
What was his name?
Anthony Bernal.
According to Hogg, and corroborated by other former staffers caught on camera, Bernal, not Joe Biden, not even Ron Klain or Jeff Zients, was the invisible hand guiding policy, access, and internal decisions at the highest levels of the federal government. One DNC figure described Bernal as a Wizard of Oz type. Except in this case, the man behind the curtain wasn't trying to protect the republic, he was running it. This is no longer speculation. This is confirmation from the mouths of Biden's own party that the Biden presidency was a puppet show with Bernal in the wings pulling the strings, at least according to Hogg, who should know a thing or two about this, right? Bernal, a longtime Jill Biden aide, had no electoral mandate, no Senate confirmation, no public accountability, and yet, according to these insiders, he wielded more influence than most cabinet members. So let's pause here. Imagine for a moment if Melania Trump's chief of staff had taken over the West Wing. Imagine the headlines, the impeachment hearings, the 25th Amendment panels that would start flowing. But when it's the Bidens, the media and everybody else just shrugs, because to them, a silent coup within the executive branch is only worth covering when it's fiction, not when it's fact. And now we understand why the Biden administration often looked incoherent, contradictory, and at times completely divorced from the man supposedly leading it. It was because he wasn't leading it. Donald Trump is back in the White House now, and thank God for that. But for 4 years, America wasn't governed. It was managed, manipulated, and misled by a First Lady's handler with zero transparency and unchecked power. And if this was happening with Bernal, as Hogg alleges, we can only imagine who else was running things in Biden's name. The people have a right to know who's actually pulling the levers of government. That is why President Trump has ordered a full review of shadow leadership structures within every federal agency that operated under the Biden administration. We already know that Biden used executive authority as a shield for unelected bureaucrats and Obama loyalists embedded deep within the system. What this new Veritas footage shows is that the rot went all the way to the top. And it wasn't Joe Biden's rot. It was the rot of the people propping him up. Tonight, America can begin to understand why those 4 years felt so hollow. Because the man in the Oval wasn't in charge, and the people in charge were not elected. Stay right here. We'll be right back.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.